Welcome back to another edition of the Burnout with yours truly. I got a special young lady I'm finna give a real good tribute to. She touched me in so many different ways. But before I go into that, I want to do the quote of the day. And it goes as, one of the happiest moments in life is when you find the courage to let go of what you can't change. Now, we have a tendency to want to keep grip on what we can't change because we want them to change or want something to change. You change comes from within, from the person that wants change. You can want somebody to change all day. If they don't want to change, it goes on deaf ears. So let go of something, let go of what you can't change and concentrate on what you can. I'm giving a tribute to Miss Cynthia Wheeler. She was born September the 15th, 1958, and she passed away June 1st, 2001. And a lot of times, you don't think that people impact you as much as they do until they're not here. And then you'll see the true impact of how they impacted your life, your way of living, and pretty much every aspect of your well-being. It goes days that I don't fathom that Miss Cynthia Wheeler's been gone this long. Because it seemed like not too long ago we were sitting out having a conversation in her house. Miss Cynthia Wheeler was a loving wife, loving mother, a dedicated mother, and she had a way about her that not many people move in, and she had a smile that would make you, if you did something and it was wrong and she smiled at you, it made you feel bad because it just the way she smiled at you, the way she enjoyed life, the way she cared about everybody. And I have firsthand experience with Miss Wheeler because she welcomed me with open arms. Right, wrong, indifferent. Once again, she never treated me bad. She always treated me with the utmost respect. She always treated me as, like I said, if I was one of her own kids. She always uplifted. She was an uplifting person. She never tried to marginalize, minimize, or knock you down. She always uplifted you. There was just something about her that made you want to get in line. Like, no matter what you had, it was something about her that made you want to straighten up. It's the way she talked. I've never heard her yell. Once again, her kids might tell you otherwise, because I've heard rumors when she put her foot down, when she stand on business, let's just put it that way, she stand on business. And I'm sure her kids would tell you, hey, that's just what you seen. But she had a fire that when it was lit, you went somewhere and hid. But with me, she always had a loving, warm smile. Her eyes just lit up. And you know what I tell people a lot of times? You can lie with your mouth, but your eyes, you can't tell. Your eyes gonna tell the truth on you. And her eyes was always had that loving glow in them. Anybody that she came in contact with wasn't the same. They couldn't be. Because of the way she was, there was no possible scenario that you could meet her, encounter with her, and leave the same way you came. You left differently. You left with a whole different attitude. You left with a different perspective. You left with a different vibe. You just left different. And she was one of the most fairest people I know. she was fair on all accounts. She wouldn't take my side or nobody else's side. She would listen, understand, and she would tell you the truth. Whether you wanted it or not, she would tell you the truth. And that's all you can ask for in anybody. She was one of these people that just was so unbreakable. It was, she held everything together. And she never folded. Even when she was sick, she still uplifted everybody else. I know for a fact, because I remember stopping by her house on my big truck just to see how she was doing. And the first thing she told me, how did you get that truck over here? You know, that's just who she was. And she was always happy. I never seen her down. I've always seen her with a I always seen her uplifted. Even when she didn't feel her best, she always tried to make you feel yours. And that's a quality that is unteachable. That is a quality that cannot be faked. And that's a quality that only a hand-selected few people would have. Everybody that I know that met her loved her. There's some people that you encounter that will just leave you speechless. And she's one of those. She will leave you speechless. That's really nothing that I can say that would uplift her any higher than she already is. She just had that vibe about her that I'm not gonna let anything or anybody get me down. I'm going to keep believing in what I believe in, and I'm going to keep doing what I do. And that's what I got from her. She never felt sorry. She didn't say, woe me. She didn't say, why me? Even when she was sick, she didn't use that. She stayed positive and she uplifted everybody around her. If you were surrounding her and you was down, and you seen how she tried to move around and uplift you, you had to change and say, you know what? Let me get off my behind. Let me go up here. I can't be the same. Because this woman is showing strength above strength. And she has shown that nothing can get me down. I can't stay down once I see that. Because that's something that's embedded in you. That's who you are. And to lose a person of that caliber, to lose a mother is indescribable. I can't even understand to comprehend the value, the pain that her kids went through. Her aunts, her sisters, her brothers, friends, the love, everybody she encountered that she touched. That is a hard pill to swallow. And I'm not going to pretend that I understand what her kids and her relatives was going through. I don't. But I know if it impacted me that hard, it had to tear them up. Because you don't lose a person that has that kind of spirit, church going, dedicated, faithful. You don't lose that kind of spirit and not be impacted on it. It's impossible. Even today, she passed away in 2001. Even today, her impact is still there on everybody. Whether you knew her a long time, whether you knew her a short time, it didn't matter. It just don't matter, because the way she impacted everybody that she touched, you had no choice but to feel the pain that everybody was going through when we lost her. I remember I was in Miami, Florida when the news came to me. And I was coming back, I was headed back to Dothan. And her daughter, Cheryl, called me and told me, hey, my mom just passed away. I can't tell you what was going through my mind at that point. It was surreal. It was like you walking in a fog, like, no, this can't be. And I called my dispatcher and I said, hey, look, I need to get back home now. And I said, something done happened, I need to get back. He did not question me, he said, just come on back up. I don't know how I drove from Miami to Troy. I really can't even tell you how I made it back, but I made it back. That was one of the toughest rides I've had to endure. From that distance, almost 600 miles away, that was all the things that go through your head, all the memories, everything. And you got 10 and a half hours to reflect on all that. It was like I couldn't grasp that I couldn't process that I just seen this young woman. And tables have turned that fast, and it was unreal. It was really unreal. And I managed to get back up to Troy. And like I said, it was the hardest ride I've had to take on that 18-week. I don't recall stopping anywhere. I don't recall talking to anybody. I really don't recall anything. I just recall getting back to Troy. That's the only thing I remember. But that tells you her impact. That tells you that everybody that comes in contact with Miss Cynthia Wheeler, you're not the same. You are touched in other ways that can't be described. And I'm a better person knowing her than I was before. That's how much she impacted me. And I know she impacted all the ones in her life that's around her the exact same way. That's why I say you're never forgotten. You'll always keep still in memory. You're going to stay in our memories. We're never going to forget you because your legacy is chiseled in stone. And it can't be moved. And it can't be tarnished. You were that impactful on all of us. And you'll always be missed. And you will be continued missed. But like I say, time has not healed us. It just made it where we can bear it. And we're going to continue uplifting you as well as your legacy, as well as your memories. That's all the time we got today on the Burnout. Eat the 2 fingers. And remember, always flame up, never burn out.